the field. It's Sunday afternoon. You can see where we shut down last night when the sun goes down. We can run about 30 minutes after dark. That's it. When the sun goes down and the moon comes out, my header transforms him from a header into a bulldozer in wheat straw. Now on good, just regular no-till ground, it does fine after dark. There used to be a fence row. You can see where we burnt the piles. I still got to do something with the root balls, but there used to be a fence row across there. And that field, closest to the hay field there, we called that the high yield plot. And that's where we really experimented with some higher fertility and tried out new things, but we kind of switched from that to just take that fence row out and include it in the big field here. Let's ask Robert if there was any difference in yield between it and the regular production field here. Is there any yield difference in the high yield plot versus the regular ground?
Oh yeah.
Like how much?
Very least 10 bushel better.
Right here is what's called a silt basin. You see this orange pipe? It's called a riser. You see how steep this old hill is right here? Well, the water comes off that hill. It speeds up as it comes off the hill. Well, what this silt basin does is you put a pipe underground and you build up the dirt. Holds that water back from coming off that hill so fast. And then it lets it go out of this pipe. What you're basically doing is metering the speed at which the water comes off the hill. This right here is our grassed waterways. This is fescue. We need to get the bush hog hooked up and mow our waterways one last time before winter. But this fescue stays green through the winter, helps hold the dirt in place. 9400 looking good, doing its job. Leaves have really changed on the trees the past couple of days. It got down pretty cool this week. Got our first big frost and really made them trees start changing colors. It looks like fall now. I don't know if I've said anything about it, but our wheat beans absolutely suck this year. See, they're about knee tall, but right here's what we're dealing with. 3-bean pod, but you got a blank, and 1 decent sized bean and 1 tiny bean. It's just 32 days without rain. We've cut some really good beans in the flats, but they just ain't making nothing on the hills. It's pretty depressing. We're gonna make money this year and gonna make some pretty good money, but we was gonna be set up to have a really good year, but these wheat beans have just really put a damper on things. We will no-till corn in this next spring. We got wheat straw, and we still got the previous year's corn stalks. These would be 2020's corn stalks still out here in the field. And all that stuff is breaking down. Maybe we're doing good things for the soil. This ground is, for the most part, pretty mellow. Made a pod. Blank. There's full pod, blank pod. It's set pods, it just didn't fill them out. 2-bean pod. Only the best. Forget the rest. And by the way, the Braves won the World Series. That's something I didn't think that I'd get to see in the rest of my lifetime. We've been a Braves fans through some pretty tough times through the rebuilding there, but we finally won it. How do you cut a best corn crop you've ever had. And the worst bean, looking like, I don't know this for certain yet, but looking like the worst bean crop we've had in 6 years. How do you do that all in the same year? I'm talented, I guess. Sleepy, huh? Well, I see Robert down there piled up with beans, and I'm up here daydreaming. Thinking about Michelle at home. Having daydreams about night things in the middle of the afternoon. Thoughts a grain car driver has. I wonder if he's gonna come up here and we're gonna unload going down. Me don't know. I hope we finish tomorrow. It's a good possibility. Messing up my room. Double crop bean. All they're good for is to make 15 bushels less than your full season beans and drag up. That's all they're good for. Got a little bit of an audience today. They're not a very lively crowd. Oh. No joke though. This was my granddaddy's, Bob Sims' farm. His house is just right there behind them pine trees, and he worked this ground a long time. And he's actually buried right up there on the hill on the cemetery, and it's pretty cool that where he's buried, you can look out over the ground he worked for years. And that's pretty cool, I think. I don't know whether I want to be buried or cremated. I kind of thought about letting them cremate me. Just sling my ash. I want them to sling my ashes over a good hill farm. I've had to work wet ground and I hate it. I just want a good hill that you can plant early and makes a good crop, and that's where you can spread me. And save a few of them and go up to the lake and sling a little bit of me out at the lake. I like the lake pretty good too. And drink a beer or two for me while you're there.